Hello, and welcome to our online service here at the Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, Ontario. My name is Joanne McGuire, and I'm happy to be your hostess for today's service. I just want to make sure I remind you all that our classes and services are made possible by your generous donations, and we so appreciate that. Thank you. I'd like to begin today's service with a prayer. I do what is mine to do, and then I let go. I'm grateful for the gift of discernment that helps me realize when to hold on, when to keep trying, planning, working, and when to let go. There is a time for the activity of the world, and there is a time for the activity of spirit. My task is to recognize when I reach the limits of my efforts. With a full heart and a clear mind, I feel complete in my work. I release the need for outcomes and desires and know that all will be resolved in time. I let go and let God, grateful that the divine moves through me and expresses as me. So be it. Our first musician this morning is Eddie Watkins Jr. singing, I Am the Place Where God Shows Up. Here's Eddie.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You
lives,
are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I want you to clap your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins, can I have some more of that? Can we have some more of that? A little more? A little more.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up.
Thank you to Eddie Watkins Jr. You have such an incredibly powerful voice, and what a gift it is to share that with us and to use it to affirm that God is present in each and every one of us and moves and breathes and has its being through us. Thank you for that beautiful song. At this time, let's take to heart our vision, mission, and statement of being, which is shown on the screen. We have a global vision, which is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. We have a sacred mission, which is we inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world. And we have a personal statement of being, which is I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all. Our affirmation for this month is I use my power of will to choose, to commit, and to be willing. Would you repeat that with me, please? I use my power of will to choose, to commit, and to be willing. And so it is. And now, David Old will give us his message for today. I won't, I will, I want. After that, he'll lead us in a meditation and some music from Karen Drucker. Here's David.
Well, good morning, everyone. So glad you could join us today. As I always like to do, let's just take a moment and take a couple of deep breaths. And as we do so, we bring our attention to this present moment. And I invite you to think of one thing, one person, one thing or person that you're grateful for today. And bring that person, that thing, that experience, whatever it is, bring it to mind. Then feel a sense of gratitude. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for whatever it is that you are especially thankful for today. And I'm reminded of Meister Eckhart, saying that if the only prayer you ever said in your life was thank you, that would be enough. And so it is. Amen. Well, again, thank you for being here. And I always enjoy to in opening with something funny if I have it. And so here I have something about a cat that dies and goes to heaven. So God meets him at the gates and says, "You've been a good cat all of these years. Anything you desire is yours, and all you have to do is ask." The cat says, "Well, I lived all my life with a poor family on a farm and had to sleep on the hardwood floors." God says, "Say no more." And instantly a fluffy pillow appears. A few days later, 6 mice are killed in a tragic accident, and they go to heaven. So God meets them at the gate with the same offer he made the cat. And the mice say, "All of our lives we've had to run. Cats and dogs and even women with brooms have chased us. It would be really wonderful if we could have a pair of roller skates, and then we wouldn't have to run anymore." God says, say no more. And instantly, each mouse is fitted with a beautiful pair of tiny little roller skates. About a week later, God decides to check and see how the cat is doing. And the cat is around, is sound asleep on the pillow. So God gently goes over and wakes him up and says, how are you doing? Are you happy here? And the cat yawns and stretches and says, oh, I have never been happier in my life. And those Meals on Wheels you've been sending over are the best. Uh, so this August we're examining the power of will, which is the power to choose, decide, dictate, determine. Charles Fillmore called the power of will the executive power of the mind. In addition to the ability to choose and decide, it also has the ability to command and to direct. It actually moves all the other powers into action. And our power of will is the master key of all of our powers. And all of the powers we've been exploring this year work together. And much like the cast of a play, with the power of will being the director. So last week we looked at how research is showing that most of our choices are made on autopilot without any awareness of what's really driving them or the effects that they will have in our lives. As behavioral psychologist Susan Weinshank points out, research shows that nearly half of our actions are habitual and that changing them isn't necessarily all about willpower. In fact, motivation alone rarely works for the very reason that our habits are an unconscious behavior. So Eckhart Tolle speaks about this in his book, Practicing the Power of Now, Essential Teachings, Meditations, and Exercises from the Power of Now. He says that the power to choice, implies consciousness, a high degree of consciousness. And without it, you have no choice. Choice begins the moment you disidentify from the mind and its conditioned patterns, the moment you become present. Until you reach that point, you are unconscious, spiritually speaking. This means that you are compelled to think, feel, and act in certain ways according to the conditioning of your mind. So last week, we looked at 3 ways to help us make more conscious choices and decisions. And the first was to improve our self-awareness. And we looked at 5 ways to cultivate self-awareness. And second, we looked at meditation as a great help in making more conscious choices, because meditation has a powerful effect on the wide range of skills that relate to self-control, attention, focus, stress management, impulse control, and self-awareness. The third thing we discussed last week that helps us to make more conscious choices is relaxing and managing our stress. And we listed last week several and discussed several methods to reduce stress in our lives. So remember, if you missed the talk last week or you'd like to review it, all of our Sunday messages are available on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and our website. The late great entrepreneur, author, and motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, "Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change." Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And the greatest obstacle to change is a lack of willpower. We rely on willpower to exercise, to develop and maintain our spiritual practice of meditation, to diet, save money, quit smoking, stop drinking, overcoming procrastination, and ultimately accomplish any of our goals. It impacts every area of our life. In an article entitled "The Psychology of Willpower: Training the brain for better decisions. Psychologist Katerina Lino points out that people use different definitions to describe willpower, but some of the most common synonyms are drive, determination, self discipline, self control, and self regulation. So when we use these words, we are really referring to the power of will or willpower. According to the APA, or the American Psychological Association, most psychology researchers define willpower as the ability to delay gratification and resist short-term temptations to meet long-term goals, the capacity to override an unwanted thought, feeling, or impulse, the conscious, effortful regulation of the self by the self, and it's also a limited uh, resource capable of being depleted. So the general idea linking these definitions is of a self making the effort to regulate itself. So studies show that people scoring high on self-control are more apt to regulate behavioral, emotional, and attention impulses to achieve long-term goals when compared to more impulsive individuals. You know, for most of us, when we think of willpower, the first thing to pop in our mind are the challenges that require us to resist temptation. How do you refuse the chocolate cake, the online shopping, the internet, that cigarette, or after work drink? It's hard, and we have trouble saying no when our bodies and senses are screaming yes. You just started a diet and you're out with friends, and it's a hot day, and you pass an ice cream store and your friends decide to go in and get one, and you have to say, I won't. It's not easy. But if you can't resist the temptation on your first day of dieting, you're very unlikely to meet your weight loss goals. Psychologist Kelly McGonigal calls this the won't power. McGonigal is a frequent lecturer at Stanford University and the author of The Willpower Instinct: How Self-Control Works, Why It Matters, and What You Can Do to Get More of It. And it was published in 2011, and I highly recommend it for those interested in willpower. So according to her, saying no is just one part of what willpower is. But the other part of willpower is saying yes to the things you know will lead you closer to your goals. It's the ability to do what you need to do, uh, even if you don't feel like it, or a part of you doesn't want to follow through. She calls this the I will power. Willpower, according to McGonigal, is comprised of three things: I won't power, I will power, and I want power. Remembering what you really want. And this is something you desire so much that you're willing to go through anything to achieve it. An example is when I first decided that I wanted to have my own restaurant. It is something I had planned and thought about for a long time, and I finally made it happen. But I really it was something that I was really, really wanted, and it didn't matter how many endless work hours I had to put in to actually make it happen and to make it successful. It was a lot of hard work. I mean, it was really a lot more work than I thought when I first, went into the business. But it's something I really wanted, and if we really want something, that makes it so much easier for us to accomplish and to keep our willpower focused on our goal. Charles Fillmore said that desire is essential to spiritual growth. Um, if you want to develop your 12 powers, if you want to tap into that peace beyond understanding that Jesus spoke of, then you really have to desire it. And by desiring it, it will come forth. Our brains have the capacity to harness all of these capacities that I just spoke of: the power of I won't, the power of I will, and the power of I want. As McGonigal says, the development of these abilities is at the core of what it means to be human. McGonigal explains that in order to survive 100,000 years ago, we had to find food, reproduce, and avoid predators. And living in a tribe greatly increased chances of survival also, but it required self-control. For example, you cannot steal someone else's dinner or girlfriend without some consequences. Self-control was necessary for survival back in those days, and served us well evolutionarily. Today, we are still born with willpower, and some people use a willpower more effectively than others. In a class willpower study conducted in 1972, Walter Mischel, now a psychologist at Columbia University, set out to study self-control in children with a simple yet effective test known as the marshmallow test. The test is simple but really quite genius. So children were asked to choose between getting a sweet reward right away or having a double portion after waiting for around 15 minutes. Kids who managed to delay gratification were believed to have stronger willpowers. An obvious conclusion. And the study, however, did not stop there. The young participants of the marshmallow test, that it is called, were actually subject to a long-term evaluation that went on for about 30 years, I believe. And over the course of the years, it turned out that those who were able to delay gratification as kids had a better life outcome as adults. Life success was measured in terms of education, performance at work, health, and other metrics. You can watch the videos that they actually took, that the researchers actually took of the kids as they were trying to resist not just eating one so they could have two sweets. And it's available on YouTube. And all you have to do is just put in the marshmallow test and it'll come up. Anyway, some of them are really, really precious. They're really cute. You'll enjoy watching them. So a few takeaways from McGonigal's book. First of all, we can train our willpower. Willpower is like a muscle, and the more you train it, the stronger it becomes, and you become more resistant to short-term temptations. You know how easy it is to fill your shopping cart with all sorts of sweets and junk foods, but you can train your willpower to resist that. You start slowly. Instead of saying no to all the sweets, you can slowly start to reduce them. Be mindful of what you put in your cart. We can overuse our willpower also. This is something I learned from her reading. Sometimes you need to keep that in mind, that your willpower is a finite resource, and you can exhaust it quickly if you don't look at it. Every day when we wake up, our willpower is at its max, and then throughout the day as we use it, it becomes weaker and weaker. It's just like I said, it's like the muscle. We can overwork our muscles and they can become fatigued, and we can overwork our willpower and it becomes fatigued. So like I say, over the day, as time goes by, it becomes weaker and weaker. So that's the reason that you're more likely to give into temptation in the evening or later part of the day. So plan your day accordingly. Personally, I usually start my day with the hardest and most important task first. And then later in the day, I can deal with less important activities. Also, in her book, she did stress the importance of managing managing your stress. Stress makes us feel bad. It makes us worry about the things you have to complete. If something makes us feel bad, then we will naturally try to do something that makes us feel good, which is why people who are stressed are more likely to reach for a cigarette, a drink, or junk food. Managing your stress helps us to avoid cravings. Now, last week I did, just as a reminder, I did give quite a few ways of helping to reduce your stress, and just a few of them was like exercising, walking, prayer, meditation, yoga, and also diet, especially watching your sugar intake. Studies show that sugar, especially the pervasive high fructose corn syrup, can really increase the levels of stress hormones in the brain and trigger mental health problems like anxiety and depression. So to prevent this, eating whole foods regularly and avoiding refined sugars will keep your glucose levels stable and therefore better equipped and therefore you'll be better equipped when it comes to willpower. And then another thing I take away was the social environment influences our willpower. Our willpower has a strong relationship with the people that we associate with. And you have probably experienced it yourself. You know, I've always been most successful in keeping up a workout routine when I've had a workout partner. When we have a workout partner, it's always easier to find the willpower and motivation to go on a run or to go work out at the gym. And the opposite is also true. If you hang out with people who easily give in to the pleasures of eating fast foods or drink too much, then your willpower to resist the temptation will be low as well. We need to stay disciplined. You know, self-discipline is ultimately a state of the mind. If you want to train yourself to be more disciplined, you have to shift your mindset and see the world in a new light. This doesn't mean you need some sort of life-defining epiphany. Even subtle changes in the ways you think can dramatically increase your behavior and help you spend less time doing things you don't really want to do and more time to accomplish your goals. As I was doing research on this talk, I ran across an article entitled 20 Strategies to Develop Self-Discipline That Lasts. I found it on the website consulting.com, and the article covers 20 small but powerful strategies and concepts that will change your mindset on self-discipline. So your homework is to go to consulting.com and read their article, 20 Strategies to Develop Self-Discipline That Lasts. Or you can just Google it and then pick at least one to work on and put to work in your life and try it out. So as I get ready to close my talk, I want to give you just 3 of the 20 strategies to develop self-discipline. And so the first one is delay gratification. In order to build self-discipline, we need to master the art of avoiding a temptation that is right there in front of us so we can hold out for something better in the future. Studies have shown that being able to delay gratification is one of the most important traits of a successful person. Sigmund Freud explains that when we are children, we are focused entirely on immediate gratification. The only thing we're concerned with is satisfying our immediate needs of hunger, thirst, and attention. As we mature, we learn to tolerate a level of discomfort in order to achieve a greater goal. For example, we resist the urge to go out partying every weekend in order to save up money to buy a car or a house. Or we resist the donuts in the break room at work every day in order to enjoy the health benefits of a better diet. But every time we choose delayed gratification, we are doing a favor to our future selves. And the second one is eat that frog. Mark Twain said, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat two frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. The frog is the big, daunting item on your to-do list you are avoiding. If you can face this task first, you'll tackle it with a clear mind when your willpower and concentration are at their strongest. If you save it for the end of the day, you'll be tired and more likely to push it into tomorrow's to-do list. So to prepare to eat the frog every morning, make a to-do list the night before. You can use an organization app such as Trello or Asana, or a good old-fashioned piece of paper and pen will work. It really doesn't matter. Just place the biggest, hardest, and ugliest task at the top of your list. When work begins, take action immediately and don't do anything else until you have swallowed that frog. The good news is that once you've done the hardest task first, you can relax because the rest of your to-do list will seem easy to in comparison. And number three, you can't improve what you don't measure. You may have heard this saying before, but it's really true. Measuring progress is a powerful way to motivate yourself to improve. Clearly tracking the things that are important will help you better understand your performance and how you can improve. You can measure anything you want that you want to improve, from minutes spent exercising per week to the number of books read in a year. You can use an app or a device such as Fitbit, or you can simply track your progress in a notebook or a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter how you measure. It's the act of measuring that will make the difference. For example, a budget app can help you track your spending and see where your money is going. Seeing how much you spend on online shopping or late night burritos might encourage you to change your habits. Watching your savings total increase month on month can motivate you to keep on going. So I would just want to thank you for being here this morning, and now let's go ahead and let's prepare for our meditation. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths. And again, as we take each breath, we are bringing our attention to this present moment. And I invite you to, just relax. Find a position in your chair or wherever you're sitting, or if you're lying down, just make yourself relaxed and comfortable. If you feel any tightness in any way in your body, one good thing, and I do frequently find sort of a tightness in my chest, in my neck, and my shoulders. If you find any tension there or tightness, just scrunch up the muscle wherever it is. Like I'm going to do this, and scrunch up my shoulders to my ears, and just hold that tightly, and then relax, and that you'll feel how good that feels. And you can do that one or two times if you still have a tightness. So we're relaxing. We're fully and totally present to this present moment. We're letting go. Things will come through our mind. Thoughts about something that happened yesterday or something that's happening later on today, but we don't grab hold of them. We just note it was a thought, and as soon as we note it, we don't hold on to it, and it goes. So we just bring again our attention to right here, right now. And I'm going to invite you to spend some time in the silence. Feel the silence. Feel the peace. And in just a moment, we're going to play a music video, a meditation video that Karen Drucker did, where she's singing in the silence. And so as we play that, I want you to just rest in a state of meditation, being open and receptive to the visions, the images on the video, and listening to the words in the silence. So just relax and allow yourself to meditate to her words.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love, sweet love, yeah, sweet love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love, and I rest this moment. I am peace. I am peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am peace. I am love. 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 I am peace. I am love.
Thank you, David, for all the effort and willpower you demonstrated to bring clarification and understanding about the power of will and all the ways we can increase our conscious awareness. I found that we can't change what we're not aware of, so we need to become aware. And I found a good question to ask myself in terms of my own behavior. Is this helping me or impeding me? Is this taking me in the direction I want to go? And I have to be very honest with myself. I think we can use our body, mind, and spirit to keep using and utilizing our ability to will and to move through of those things that block that. So thank you for your beautiful message, and I certainly have taken it to heart. I want to thank Karen Drucker, too, for permission to use her music and video. It has such a way of being so soothing and a great follow-up to David's meditation and talk today. Just kind of allowed all that information to kind of gently go into your consciousness. I found that Karen's music, I kind of discovered this, is just that it's so healing and helpful. It's like a mini meditation in itself, and it's so effortless. So thank you, Karen, for that gift. I would like to acknowledge and thank all who faithfully continue to support Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor with your financial donations. These love offerings go a long way to prosper all that we do and all whom we reach out to. Thank you for remembering to donate each time you are spiritually nourished by our events, classes, and service. It is easy to donate with e-transfer or PayPal. Please use the email address unitycenterwindsor@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website, unityofwindsor.org, and click on the blue donate link on the homepage. This will take you to a secure site called Canada Helps, where you can choose to make a one-time love offering or a recurring donation with a credit card or debit card. Finally, there is the good old-fashioned choice of writing out a check and popping it in the mail. Our contact information, including address, is found on our website. Again, it is unityofwindsor.org. We bless you and lift you up in gratitude for all your generous support. For those of you who wish to find out more about our ever-expanding variety of classes and social gatherings online, please refer to our weekly newsletter. If you haven't signed up to receive our newsletter yet and wish to do so, email us. We will have you signed up in a jiffy. Together, we will pray a blessing over our financial love offerings. Divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Spirit. Let us pray our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. In this closing segment of our service for today, I once again would like to express gratitude and appreciation to David as our spiritual leader and director. Thank you for all the efforts you do to keep supporting us in that direction. I'd also like to thank Eddie Watkins Jr. and Karen Drucker for giving us permission to share their music and video. It's a beautiful addition to our service. As well, we have our own in-house musician, Mike Karloff, and he does our opening and closing music. Thank you, Mike. Please remember that members of our prayer chaplain team are available during the week to pray with you. Please email our office to request a prayer chaplain to contact you by telephone to arrange a convenient time to pray with you. And directly following our service at 11:30, please join us directly on Zoom for fellowship and an opportunity to get to know you better. David will be hosting conversations immediately after the service at 11:30. And there we have further discussion on today's message and an opportunity to get to meet each other and talk to each other. Also, one of our prayer chaplains will be available for those who would like someone to pray with them. Thank you for joining us today. I want you to know we so appreciate your continued support. Thank you for that. Have a wonderful week, everyone.